surprised.
Haven't you?
Kapalı ya.
Adam, are you?
Oh, nasıl?
The ring chooses the wifey.
Bem. I left the company.
Maybe anything.
Une plaque à l'œil. Yeah, sorry.
do because we get the boys out for the day.
Sometimes at least one.
Oh, I see the London Eye!
Yeah, you can use those as an example.
Không được vô ngay.
Yeah, but
Shooting.